Are you afraid to confront the silent treatment in your relationship? Relationships can be tough. We all crave connection, love, and respect. But sometimes things turn sour. One of the most hurtful things you can do in a relationship is to ignore someone. It's a power play, plain and simple. When you ignore a woman, you're trying to control her. You're trying to make her feel small and insignificant. Think about it. When you were a kid and you misbehaved, what did your parents do? They might have given you the silent treatment. Why? Because it's effective. It makes you feel bad about yourself. You crave their attention, their approval. The same principle applies in adult relationships. Ignoring someone is a form of emotional manipulation. It's a way of punishing someone without having to say a word. It's a way of saying, "You're not worth my time or energy," and that's a really hurtful message to receive. This kind of behavior is unacceptable. Ignoring someone is never the answer. If you're upset with someone, talk to them. Communicate your feelings in a healthy way. Don't resort to childish games. Subscribe now for a free ebook full guide for self-improvement. Why do people resort to the silent treatment? What drives someone to deliberately withdraw affection and communication? It often stems from a place of insecurity and a need for control. When someone feels threatened or inadequate, they might use silence as a weapon to regain a sense of power. Some individuals learn this behavior in their childhood. If they grew up witnessing their parents using silence as punishment, they might replicate this pattern in their adult relationships. It becomes their default mode of dealing with conflict or expressing displeasure.
Another reason could be a fear of confrontation. Some people find it easier to shut down and withdraw than to engage in open and honest communication. They avoid difficult conversations, hoping the problem will magically disappear. However, ignoring someone doesn't make the problem go away. It only creates more distance and resentment. It's a cowardly way of dealing with relationship issues.
Being ignored is like a slow poison. It eats away at your self-esteem, your confidence. You start to question everything about yourself. Am I not good enough? Am I not worthy of his love and attention? These are the thoughts that race through your mind when you're on the receiving end of the silent treatment. The emotional toll is immense. It can trigger feelings of anxiety, depression, and worthlessness. Imagine being ignored by the person who's supposed to love and cherish you. It's a special kind of torture.
You start to overthink everything you said or did, trying to pinpoint the moment everything went wrong. The silence amplifies your insecurities, making you doubt your own sanity. The worst part? You crave his attention, even though you know you deserve better. You crave his touch, his voice, anything to break the agonizing silence. But he remains distant, cold, unmoved.
Section 4. Scars of silence. Long-term consequences of emotional neglect. The damage inflicted by emotional neglect runs deep. It can leave long-lasting scars on a woman's psyche, affecting her future relationships.
She might develop trust issues, finding it hard to open up and be vulnerable again. The fear of being ignored, of not being heard, can haunt her. She might become overly cautious, walking on eggshells to avoid conflict at all costs. This can create an imbalance in her relationships, where she constantly prioritizes her partner's needs over her own.
The long-term consequences for the person dishing out the silent treatment are equally damaging. They develop a pattern of unhealthy communication, pushing away potential partners who crave intimacy and connection. Their inability to address conflict head-on creates a vicious cycle of resentment and emotional distance in all their relationships. They become prisoners of their own fear, unable to experience the true joy of a loving and fulfilling partnership. Section 5. Breaking the cycle. Choosing respect and open communication. Breaking free from this toxic cycle requires honesty, self-awareness, and a commitment to change. If you're guilty of using silence as a weapon, recognize the damage it inflicts and seek help. Therapy can be incredibly beneficial in understanding the root cause of this behavior and learning healthier ways to communicate. It's about breaking free from old patterns and embracing vulnerability.
For women who have experienced the pain of being ignored, remember your worth. You deserve to be heard, respected, and loved. Don't settle for relationships where your voice is silenced. Surround yourself with supportive friends and family who value open communication. Seek professional help if needed to heal the emotional wounds and rebuild your self-esteem.
Section 6, a call for empathy and understanding. At the end of the day, we're all human beings capable of both hurting and healing. Let's choose empathy over silence, understanding over judgment. Let's break the cycle of emotional neglect and create relationships built on a foundation of respect, open communication, and